Hello and welcome to this introduction to a series of videos covering a workflow for creating a roundabout. So this is not a simple civil cell kind of roundabout in OpenRoads design. This is the proper three-dimensional geometry. So we need to make some assumptions, I guess, before we start. And one of those is that we have gathered all of our data because we want to end up with something that looks like you're seeing on the screen here. So let's just grab this in here and rotate it. So we're looking to end up with a three-dimensional model of a roundabout with full pavement layer design and so on. So eventually we'll end up with curbs and footways and end conditions, the cuts and fills if you like, along with the whatever's in the center and our traffic islands. So that's where we want to be. So we need first to get some data together. So let's go and have a look at what we've got and what we've already gathered. So here we have some survey data just coming up, and this probably came, a standard CAD file. We've brought it into our software, and if I look at it from the front, you can see it's all three-dimensional data. So we've used that to create a terrain model. And of course, we then need to develop our geometries for our horizontal geometries for the whole of the roundabout. So again, we're making assumptions that analytical software, something like Arcady in the UK, perhaps has been used, which will give us the new geometry, the deflections and so on, so that we can fit in a roundabout in here. So we're going to take this existing alignment and we're going to deviate from that. So that vertical geometry has already been worked out, and we're going to put in a roundabout from here. So we need to know things like the grades and elevations where we need to join onto this existing corridor data. So it's at that point I'd recommend that you perhaps got organized and got yourself a spreadsheet. I've got all the names of my crowns in here. In this case, ICD is this one here, the crown diameter. And then we've got entry and exit grades, and following normal methods, Stockdale method in here. If you can imagine the ICD, the internal diameter here, rotating in a clockwise direction, that meshes with each of these entry grades as if they were gears. Okay, so we must make sure that the chainage or stationing is meshing in the same direction. So if this is going clockwise, this one here, number 2, comes in this direction, and so on. Number 3 goes out in this direction, and so on. And then we will look later at getting the kissing points where these two meet, how to project things together. So that's what we're going to do. So yes, please by all means use a piece of paper with lots of crossings out and circled numbers, but you'll find a spreadsheet's a lot easier, and it's likely you'll hopefully make fewer mistakes. So that's where we're going to go, and let's go and have a look at a starting point in here. So here's all of our geometry ready to go, and there are 5 main pieces of geometry we need to deal with, and that's all these orange crowns. So we'll start off with this circle, the what we call the ICD, and then we will move on to each of these 4 entry and exit alignments. Okay, now again, it's important you make sure everything's going in the right direction. You can always check that by going terrain, going to the analyze tools and analyze points. You can select this, and you can see that as I go around it goes rising chainage. If I go and select this one, rising change. So everything's going in the correct direction, and that's the kind of work you need to put in to start with. And of course, because these are single carriageway here, these are going to be coincident at the beginnings here, all coincident, and the ends. So that's where we want to be. Good time spent at this point is good time, and we'll end up with a good three-dimensional model, which we can then go do isopacks and testing to see if the roundabout's going to work. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this stage. So There'll be a series of videos to follow that take you right the way through the process.